Mic check 1 2 1 2. We in the building. What's up, everybody? How y'all feeling? My name is Johnny, and this is live with Johnny. Make sure, okay, everything is looking good. Everything is set up good the way I like it. Man, it's tough. When I tell you it's tough, and life is just life right now. I know a lot of people. They just don't know. They don't know what's next. We are living in some times that none of us really prepared for, and it's coming. We got a pandemic that's about to happen, another pandemic, and you think about it. I should have went and grabbed some to drink. Uh, You think about it. This president gave up the World Health Organization, which is WHO. They cut all them programs. We used to be directly in tune with, what is it called? We used to be directly in tune with the world. Yeah, was it the World Health Organization? Who? CDC. He broke up the CDC. He got out of the World Health Organization. Remember, he got in and he was like, "Well, we don't need this," and they not really telling us nothing. And he got all of his people to go against it because of the last pandemic. They felt like they was lied to or whatever. So he got them really to go against um, just like medicine in general. Like that's one thing they don't believe in medicine. And that's wild because now we to a point we barely got through that pandemic. Now we to a point where we're going to have another pandemic, and guess who's in charge? It's like, well, we don't need it. Like, how insane is that? Guess who's in charge? The same person that was in charge last time. And then let me see if I can change the screen. And he told us, he was like, last time he said, I didn't want to tell anybody because what he say, he didn't want anybody to panic. Do you understand how crazy that is? Like, you sat there and held information that could have saved lives, and you didn't tell anybody because you didn't want anybody to panic. And then you take a look at everything that we're dealing with right now and the stuff that's being hidden and stuff like that. Really, is that really why you hid it? You wonder if, like, do you know more that you maybe, there we go, that you know more that maybe you're not telling everybody? Maybe that's it. But I digress. I digress. We got this video I want to show y'all, and I really want you to take a look. And we're gonna critique it as we watch it. And I'm not in the habit of like knocking this president. He's like, oh well, you got, they tell, not me per se, but they tell people you got Trump deranged syndrome. I'm just telling you what is going on right now. You can say what you want to say, but I'm gonna tell you facts. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna make up stories and fairy tales and stuff like that. I'm giving it to you honestly as I can. So, all right, here we go. Let's take a look at this. You're really gonna see something's gonna blow your mind. Oh, no, okay, here we go. I don't know why. Okay, here we go.
How much it costs you to buy things. He doesn't give a damn about it, and we have more video proof of this, as if we needed more evidence of it. Now, let me set this up for context. Donald Trump does an event in the Oval Office, and he brings out renderings. These are like Trump's toys, essentially, of the UFC event that is planned for the White House. They're doing a big UFC fight on the front lawn of the White House. Gas is up 66% since January 15th, as Donald Trump is doing the following in the Oval Office.
Do you understand
A lot
this?
of people haven't seen this yet. I'll give you that. I think you'll
This is
probably be
insane.
able to do okay with it.
Look,
The media's gonna go crazy.
And that, not bad, right? Championship belt.
who wants that?
Dana White was here last night. Did you know that? He was here last night. He loves this guy. He loves all of them.
Let me ask you a question. Like, out of all the stuff that's going on, who wants a ballroom? You got to be insane. Let's see if I can turn this up a little bit more. There you go. You got to be insane. Who wants the ballroom? Look at this, and he's serious about it. This is what he is focused on, is the ballroom. He's not focused on nothing else. He's not focused on your gas. They done told this man, listen, gas is out of control. He don't care. He does not care. He told, that sounded good when it was, he told people that gas, because like gas is sold by the barrel right now. When it was at its best, let's say, for example, it was like a $60 a barrel, right? Trump is taking it to like $100 a barrel. So you see $5, $5.20 gas. They say that it might get to $200 per gallon. So let me give you the math of that. If right now we paying $5 a gallon and the gas and the barrel of oil is 100, if you double that, then we're going to be paying $10.50 per gallon gas. He don't care. He don't give a shit. He could care less. Look at him.
Here's another one. This is another. They're going all the way out, all online. It's all people
Something
invited.
is not right.
Our
Look at
country
him.
is invited to this. It's free. And you know, in the park.
Everybody in the country is invited. Really? Really? Everybody's invited?
Right across the street, they're going to have, I guess, anywhere from 75 to 100,000 people, free. They're going to set up 8 big screens, and they're going to have the fight. And then out here, we're going to have 4,000 seats right in front of the front door of the White House. The hardest ticket I've ever had to.
Best live show on earth. June 14th.
This will be the greatest show on earth. Is at night. That's all lighting and cover.
Now, they did the Kid Rock concert. Oh, it's going to be the greatest concert. Like, these people have no flavor, no style, no flavor, no nothing. Like, I see a bunch of lights. Okay, that's cool. But you go over to like Dubai. Like, come on, y'all. Are you serious? Like, and who's flipping all this money? Who's paying for this? Me and you are paying for this. He takes our money, can't pay for health care, stripped us of that, strip people of the Village Green. I don't give a fuck what you say. People been in there they whole, I don't give a fuck. Some people just can't get it right. And here he comes. We put all of our taxpayers. You complaining because they get $6 a day in food stamps. They get $6 a day in food stamps. You complaining. And this man is about to, he's spending billions and billions of our dollars on things like this. Imagine how much that last parade he did cost. That was just a drop in the bucket compared to how they all listen. All of his staff, they got rid of. Remember when they was driving in the Ford vans and stuff like that, SUVs, and they was all bulletproof and they was expensive. Now they got rid of all of them and replaced them with BMWs and did the same thing to BMW. They tricked out and bulletproof armor. You know how much that cost to upgrade that? And they didn't do it because they needed to. They just that's what Kash Patel wants to drive around in BMWs. So now they got a whole fleet of BMWs bulletproofed out. That's excessive. All right, we're gonna watch it.
And I think you get the idea. So It's going to be June 14th, and it's going to be great. And this is a little different for these political people, and but these are real warriors. When we talk about warriors, these are warriors.
So who's more of a warrior, them or the people that you got at war right now? Like, this is insane. You got people, what, 13 troops that died, and you call them UFC boxers,
This
fighters,
is a
real warriors.
complete and total humiliation. But there are a lot of people who don't see it that way, who see this and they go, it's so great that Trump is doing interesting things and involving different organizations like his friend Dana White at UFC in what is at the end of the day just a huge money-making scheme. It's great Trump is doing this. Yes, gas is up 66% over the last 3.5 months,
Yep.
sure. But Trump playing with picture books of the UFC fight at the White House while gas prices are over $4.50 a gallon is okay. I don't mind that. But that's where we are right now. Trump doing an insane, extraordinarily expensive from a logistical standpoint event at the White House and bragging about it while you are paying over $4.50 a gallon or even more for gasoline, depending on where you are. What would be happening right now if prices for gas were up 66% in 3.5 months and Joe Biden was the president of the United States? And imagine if on top of that, Biden were golfing every weekend. And imagine if on top of that, Biden were building a $400 million ballroom and saying, hey, maybe we'll also add $1 billion in taxpayer money to that, and holding a UFC fight at the White House. What do you think Fox News and Rogan and the Manosphere and the podcasters would be saying if that were happening under Joe Biden? And then Trump just straight up says, I don't care, telling us that even if oil had gone to $200 a barrel, it still would have been worth it to do what he did in Iran.
And I thought oil prices would go to $200, $250. It's at $100 now. And I think you're surprised, and I'm surprised. But even if it went to 200, it would have been worth it. I understand that. We had just set a record, 50,000 on the Dow, 7,000 on the S&P, a record. And I said, I hate to do this, but we have to make.
What does it have to do with the average person, the stock market? What does it have to do with anything?
An excursion down to Iran because we can't let them have a nuclear weapon. Look.
This is something Trump says very offhandedly. He doesn't even think twice. But what this means is he never cared how expensive your gas got. He wanted to go into Iran. He ran on, I care, I feel your pain, I will prioritize affordability. It's the number one issue. And then he says, even if oil prices had gone to $200 a barrel, which implies a gas price of $8 a gallon, I still would have done it because he doesn't care how that affects the average person. He doesn't give a damn. Then he doubles down on this and saying, I expected the stock market to go down even more than it did.
They all want to go there and elsewhere. We just hit a new high in the stock market. The stock market's the highest it's ever been. And I expected that the market would be down 20, 25%. I was willing to do that to get rid of a crazy country, crazy. The people, look, you know, you talk about regime change. Their first level leaders are dead. Their second level.
Look, he started talking about how crazy they was, but he didn't give you no example. No solid proof example. And so, yes, when some people, his followers, that's all they got to do is give labels. You crazy. You eat cats and dogs. You're crazy, crazy. Like, that's how like an old person would talk. An old demented person. You're crazy. You're insane. You're crazy. They're crazy. How are they crazy? The same people making them rap videos, you mean to tell me them people are crazy? Something ain't right. Something's not adding up. How are they crazy? You sitting there erasing black folks' rights. Black people in Iran, they let and hostages. They let all the black hostages go first. Explain to me how they crazy.
Leaders dead, some of the leaders are dead, call that regime change. But I thought we'd be down between the stock market was higher now than when we started the war. And I thought oil prices would be $200, $250.
You're one. You thought that was bad. Trump thought it would go down 20 to 25%, and still to go into Iran. Why? Because he does not care. He does very.
That's crazy and stupid at the same time. I don't know.
And all of a sudden, the next day, they're like, because they're injured, they're hurt. No matter how great you are, you get somebody else that looks like them. It's very tough, but they have great pride. These people have great pride. The others do too. Have great pride.
As usual, it's all a farce. Trump announces a nice, probably, maybe, likely, assuming it happens deal. Markets pop. Dow was up, 600 points yesterday. He got what he wanted once again. And then when he's actually asked about the status of the talks, he goes, I don't know. I guess they're acting like they don't remember that we did these talks. I don't know what's going on anymore. It is all a farce. And, there are people in the audience. I get it. You're busy living your lives. You're not following the ins and outs of foreign policy. Fine. You weren't following the Iran nuclear deal and the comings and goings of the Ayatollah. Fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the takeaway here is you are the lowest priority of this administration. They brag about, we lifted millions off of food stamps. You didn't lift them. You kicked them. You kicked them off of food stamps and said, you don't get food stamps anymore. That's different than, we've lifted these people out of poverty with wage increases and better jobs and economic stability and housing programs, and now they no longer qualify for or need food stamps under the prior guidelines. No, you just changed the guidelines to kick a bunch of people off. They do not care. And one of the questions we're increasingly dealing with is, what is it that will actually get to these self-centered authoritarians like Donald Trump? And I think yesterday, we may actually have found the answer. Shopping for a mattress is one of those
All right, y'all, get out of here.